At Advance Bank, we make house calls for our home loans. Call now to arrange yours. 018 621 123. That's 018 621 123.
Spring into savings all this weekend at Koala Outdoor Furniture. All Jensen Jarrah, Hartman and PVC furniture has been greatly reduced. Beat down a deal and save heaps this weekend during Koala Outdoor Furniture's Spring into Savings sale. You won't buy better. Gladstone Street, Fishwick.
At Advance Bank, now we make house calls for our home loans. Just call 018 621 123. That's 018 621 123 to arrange your home loan house call.
See the big boys with their big toys. 11 o'clock Friday, only on Prime.
New band? Yeah.
Hey, Terry.
Johnny and Coke, Chris?
I don't know. You can't beat the original. Johnny Walker Red Label, bottled in Scotland.
The patrol's just magnificent. Big six, fuel injection, just the ticket. And comfy too.
Tell them about the van, Dom.
Yep, she's real tough. Go anywhere. Tell you what else, patrol's darn good value.
That's how we got the van. You want to see it?
The new Patrol RX.
No, the van.
At under $43,000. It's tough to beat.
Real value every day at Superbarn. Refreshing Hahn Ice Beer $22.95. Golden Gate wine casks are low $5.95. And Bailey's Irish Cream $21.95. Guaranteed fresh, guaranteed value. Superbarn.
Spring into savings all this weekend at Koala Outdoor Furniture. All Jensen Jarrah, Hartman and PVC furniture has been greatly reduced. Beat down a deal and save heaps this weekend during Koala Outdoor Furniture's Spring into Savings sale. You won't buy better. Gladstone Street, Fishwick.
The Queanbeyan Community Celebrations Weekend is on again on the 27th and 28th of November. Celebrate all weekend with great activities organised from the Great Bed Races to the famous Main Street Parade. Of course, there'll also be live music, specialty stores and street entertainment and carnival rides. And this year there'll also be a demonstration of fire walking. And on the Sunday there's a fun run, breakfast in the park, a day full of multicultural events, steam trains and special displays. This is entertainment at its best for all the family at the Queanbeyan Celebration Weekend.
Fresh every day at Superbarn. Crisp lettuce 59 cents each. Pork loin chops $5.79 a kilo. And ham carved off the bone $8.99 a kilo. Guaranteed fresh, guaranteed value. Superbarn.
Out when I shouldn't. For instance, this afternoon, I'm sure I wouldn't have been able to resist mentioning the bizarre sight that greeted my eye.
Tomorrow on Prime 6 o'clock news, an Aboriginal tribe that are halfway to becoming millionaires. And what are they doing with all the money?
It's going into business, you know. It's not going in our pocket.
Top-end tycoons, tomorrow Prime News.
The patrol's just magnificent. Big six, fuel injection, just the ticket. And comfy too.
Tell them about the van, Dom.
Yep, she's real tough. Go anywhere. Tell you what else, patrol's darn good value.
That's how we got the van. You want to see it?
The new Patrol RX.
No, the van.
At under $43,000. It's tough to beat.
Smarter than your average pommy, dog.
Who needs a gimmick? When right now at Freedom Furniture you can get sofas from just $499, dining tables from as low as $99, chairs from $39, lighting...
Can I help you, sir?
Yeah, look, what have you got for a Falcon for less than 120 bucks?
Well, we've got Dunlop Grand Prix from $93, Olympic Marathons from $91, and Australian-made steel radials from $66.
Jeez, that's all right. But I'll just shop around, you know. Make sure I get the best price.
No problem, sir.
He'll be back.
Bo's big blockbuster sale now on. Call 132381 for your nearest store.
Hi, I'm Ricky Stuart. In 1987, the year the Raiders made a grand final, another Canberra team had its beginnings, the stationery supermarket. This team is right on the ball when it comes to office supplies and service. Unlike its competitors, they're our local team. They'll match any competitor's advertised price and win on service. So come on, Canberra, support stationery supermarket and experience their competitive prices and super service. You'll see why I'm their #1 supporter.
Ah, salam. Pizza Hut introduces Kebab Lovers Pizza. Hugely delectable slices of lamb, freshly diced tomatoes and tangy onions with spicy barbecue sauce. Ah, Kebab Lovers Pizza for a hugely tiny $9.90 or as part of the large pairs deal for $18.50. Aye, so hit the Hut or 131166.
See the Aussies take on the world's best in the hottest golf action you'll ever see. Greg Norman, Ray Floyd, Baker Finch, Curtis Strange, Sandy Lyle, Steve Orkington and more. Blossom's discovered boys. And she likes it.
You're funny, you're talented.
Wow.
Her dad's a warrior.
You're just a kid.
I'm 14. Some women have babies at 14.
Oh, there's the winning argument.
One brother's a nut, the other thinks he's a stud.
You get lonely, you go eeny, meeny, miny, yo.
They're a family.
We don't hug enough.
And they're the smash of the summer.
Yes.
Meet Blossom and guest stars like Estelle Getty and Little Richard every weeknight at 7. Starts Monday on Prime.
Righto, Roscoe.
Half a century after he started it all, Percy McGuigan's sons have united to strike out on their own to form a new Australian Hunter Valley wine company, McGuigan Brothers Wines.
If you liked what we did before, you'll love what we're doing now.
You can get discounts, bonuses, weekly sales, interest-free, monthly sales, easy terms, 2 monthly sales, you name it. But what's wrong with the very best furniture at the very best prices? Right now, at Freedom Furniture, you can get sofas from just $499, dining tables from as low as $99, chairs from $39, lighting from $25, coffee tables from only $59, entertainment units from just... Everybody loves their freedom.
Announcing the Sony Pure Action competition. Win one of 15 tandem skydiving weekends for 2 to Great Keppel Island. Over $100,000 in Sony Scratch and Win prizes. Details on Sony V-Tape Pure Action packs.
What had actually happened was Claire had gone through a red light.
The impact was so huge that there was a cassette in the cassette deck and it was broken in half.
I have to go to physiotherapy twice a week.
The medical costs are quite huge.
My hand won't be the same again. I also teach piano and I will suffer loss of income.
They were best friends, and the girl who was driving, she can't remember anything of it, and I don't think there's ever going to be the same friendship there for them.
When you buy a new car from me, you won't pay this much or this much, even this much.
That's right. When you buy a new...
I brought Mitsubishi. We don't kid around. Fuel-injected magnetic executives from under $19,000. Now that's real competition. We're Canberra's #1 dealer because of consistently low prices, excellent service, and a real commitment to Canberra sport. Right, guys?
You got it, Herb.
Rolf Mitsubishi, the good sports in Canberra.
From the Traminer Riesling experts comes Traminer Riesling Export. Fresh, fruity and delicious. From McGuigan Brothers Wines.
You'll love what we're doing now.
Coming up next on Prime, a comprehensive update of the day's news, events and weather. Then stay on Prime for real life. Check out the latest fantasy sports car and visit the largest floral display in Australia in the great outdoors. There are 2 $10,000 dream holidays to be won, 7:30 tomorrow on Prime.
If you've ever seen children frightened, abused,
Now you've got something to cry about.
then you're going to love this.
You're not going to be lonely anymore.
Because the kids strike back in the warmest, funniest, most wonderful movie.
I've come to take you to heaven. How come I don't get no hay, Mom?
Kirk Cameron, the excellent young star of Growing Pains, as the boy who rescues little victims.
You're a kidnapper.
We know you were holding hostages. And gives them a real
You
home.
made us a family.
A Little Piece of Heaven, a feel-good movie premiere. Friday, 8:30 on Prime.
1993 has been a particularly stressful year for many families. And with Christmas just around the corner, there is a way you can help those most in need.
Yes, if you can spare a toy, particularly in the age group 8 to 12, boy or girl, it really would be appreciated.
Your donations can be left at Prime Studios in Watson, ABC Radio, the Canberra Centre or any Kmart store.
With your help, children right throughout the region won't miss out this year.
And from the Smith family, thanks.
Prime Television, your local station. From Prime Television Canberra, the late news.
Accident victim refused treatment because of Canberra's doctors' dispute. Highest ever break-in stats for the ACT lacks home security blamed. Good evening. Also tonight, uproar in Parliament over new sports grant allegations concerning Ros Kelly and how they make those spectacular laser shows. But first, a badly injured road worker turned away from Woden Valley Hospital because no specialist care was available is undergoing life-saving surgery in Sydney. The 48-year-old man was seriously injured when a truck backed over him on the Hume Highway near Bookham. Under normal circumstances, he would have been transported here for urgent surgery, but because of the doctor's dispute, he had to go elsewhere for specialist care.
Care Flight's critical care unit flew into Yass Hospital this afternoon to airlift an accident victim to Westmead in Sydney. The 48-year-old man is in a serious condition with a severed leg, fractured pelvis, shoulder and head injuries after a truck ran over him on a construction site south of Yass on the Hume Highway. Canberra's hospital system not only serves the national capital, but the region around Wagga, Goulburn, Cooma and Bega. But today, that system failed.
The situation is that they won't accept him at Woden Hospital, I believe.
Yes, Dr. Owen Graham says every minute counts.
Woden was quite adamant they couldn't take him?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Does that distress you at all?
Yes. Yes, it does. Yes, we depend on them a lot. And it's obviously a lot more traumatic to get people to Sydney rather than just to go to Canberra.
At 4:20, he was airlifted to Sydney 6 hours after the accident. He's now undergoing surgery. Life-saving procedures not currently available in Canberra because of a disagreement over doctors' pay. Overnight in Canberra, the transport of patients interstate continued. One patient was taken by road to Goulburn. 3 others endured a trip to Sydney in the air ambulance for treatment, taking the total move to 31. This morning, both parties headed for the Industrial Relations Commission for a day of talks.
Is there any reason for hope from today? As long as we're talking, there's always hope.
We will remain hopeful.
But mere hope alone will not get surgeons back into theatres and give Canberra and the region a hospital system capable of treating its own patients. Peter Doherty, Prime News.
And there's a mixed result in the long-running nurses' dispute tonight, with nurses calling off industrial action this morning, but accusing the government of reneging on promises this afternoon. The nurses say the Industrial Relations Commissioner ordered both sides to suspend their action over roster planning, but claimed late today the government was ignoring the order. Another commission order is expected to be released tomorrow to force both parties to comply. An unprecedented move in the ACT Assembly today to force the government to retain 80 teaching positions scheduled for axing at the end of the year. The opposition amendment to the budget bills was backed by independent members, leaves the government with a major budget headache.
When the Chief Minister brought down her budget in September, it was the axing of 80 teaching jobs that sparked the biggest outcry, including a strike by teachers and protests by students. Today, when the budget bills came before the ACT Assembly, the Liberal opposition moved an amendment, not to block the budget, but to specifically prevent the government from cutting the number of teaching staff.
It simply states you can do what you like with your budget, but the Assembly and a majority of the Assembly do not want 80 teachers affected.
Assembly Speaker Roberta McRae said the proposed amendment was extraordinary and unprecedented either here or in the House of Representatives. She said there were strict limitations on amendments that can be made to budget bills, and the Liberal move carried serious implications for future governments. Nonetheless, she allowed the amendment. The government knew it was coming, but the wording took it by surprise. The Chief Minister branded it a nonsense, but it will mean she'll have to find $1.5 million in savings